We often hear people talk about, luck and chance when it comes to success. But
Right.
what if it's not really about that? What if the real secret is becoming the kind of person success just finds?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, today we're diving deep into how you can actually cultivate that sort of magnetic force within yourself.
Okay.
Think about it this way. Success isn't some random lightning strike. It tends to follow a pattern.
That pattern.
Yeah, it's usually the result of, well, intentionally growing, taking consistent, disciplined action, and really staying committed.
That sounds very different from how we sometimes approach things.
It is. It's a stark contrast to,
Exactly.
putting things off, procrastinating, doubting ourselves, maybe being inconsistent.
Hmm.
And the really empowering part, I think, is that this isn't about some innate talent you're born with. It's actually about the choices you make every single day.
Okay, so that's what we're getting into in this deep dive then, unpacking those core principles.
Precisely. How to become that person who attracts success. We'll look at shaping who you are, setting really focused goals.
Resilience too, right? That's got to be key.
Oh, absolutely. Building resilience, tapping into self-belief, discipline, of course.
Always learning?
Yep, continuous learning. Who you surround yourself with, it's huge.
Mm.
Shifting your mindset from lack to possibility,
Mm.
finding your passion and purpose, and then ultimately just taking action consistently.
All right, let's dive in. Where do we start? The foundation.
Let's start with shaping your identity. It's
Yeah.
fascinating how your ongoing development really shapes what you draw into your life.
How so?
Well, there's this powerful analogy. Think of your habits, your choices, even your thoughts. They're like paintbrushes,
Okay.
and your life is the canvas. So the big question for you listening right now is, are you consciously painting a masterpiece? Or are you just letting random strokes kind of define the picture?
Wow, that really makes you stop and think, doesn't it?
It does.
Our sources really highlight that success isn't just, external stuff. It's a direct reflection of our inner world.
Exactly. Your thoughts, your behaviors, how you carry yourself.
It's like the world sort of responds to the energy we put out there.
That's a great way to put it. If you want to attract greatness,
Yeah.
you kind of have to cultivate that inner greatness first.
So think about people who just command respect naturally.
Yeah, you know the type.
Yeah.
Often it's that quiet confidence, right? Or clear determination, a sense of purpose.
It's not always the loudest person.
Not at all. It's a presence. And the key thing to understand is that presence isn't luck.
No.
No, it's the result of consistent internal work. Choosing to grow, push past the ordinary, build an identity based on, strength and ambition,
They've essentially shaped themselves.
and to individuals that success is naturally drawn to.
Yeah. We have some really great stories illustrating this, like Edwin C. Barnes.
Oh, Barnes, yeah. Incredible story.
He had this intense desire, this burning desire to partner with Thomas Edison.
Despite having, well, nothing in the conventional sense.
Yeah.
No money, no connections, no real experience.
But in his mind.
In his mind, he was already Edison's partner. That conviction was everything.
And he didn't just wait around.
Not at all. Radical initiative. He literally hopped a freight train, right?
Yeah. Just fueled by that self-belief.
And when he finally got in front of Edison, he didn't just ask for a job.
What did he do?
He boldly stated his intention. I'm here to go into business with you.
Wow. And Edison.
Well, Edison saw something in that determination. Gave him a really basic, menial job.
Which could have been discouraging.
For most people, yeah.
Yeah.
But Barnes stuck with it, kept showing his value. Years later, Edison invents the dictating machine.
And needed someone to sell it.
Exactly. And Barnes, with that same unwavering belief he arrived with, saw his chance, seized it,
Became the exclusive distributor.
and ultimately, just as he'd envisioned, a wealthy, respected partner of Edison's.
So connecting that back to you, the listener, it's about aligning how you see yourself with what you want.
Absolutely. He acted like a partner, and that deep conviction plus the persistence made it real.
Then there's Henry Ford. Multiple failures before Ford Motor Company even got off the ground.
Right. And even then, cars were a luxury. But he had this vision
Affordable cars for everyone.
and an unwavering belief in that and in mass production. He was incredibly resilient, too, even through the Great Depression.
And he had that quote, didn't he, about belief?
Yeah, something like, a man's success is determined by his belief in himself, not his failures. It really nails that internal drive.
So it all boils down to this question for you, listening. Who do you need to become?
Right. Not pretending. Genuinely aligning your identity with your vision.
If you want wealth, adopt a wealth-building mindset.
If you want influence, learn to lead, behave like a leader.
Yeah. Success isn't something we chase.
It's more like a consequence, a byproduct of becoming capable.
Okay, so once you have that clearer sense of identity, how do you actually move towards it? That brings us to goals, right?
Exactly. That's the next vital piece. Setting goals with purpose and precision.
Because success doesn't just
Right.
happen.
Not according to our sources, no. It's intentional, planned,
Yeah.
built step by step with clear goals and purposeful action.
It's about designing your future versus just reacting.
Precisely. And there's a real contrast between people who actively define their success and those who just sort of drift.
If you don't define it, the world might define it for you.
And it might not be what you want. Success seems to reward those who take charge, who set deliberate goals.
And vague goals don't cut it right. Like, I want to be successful.
Meaningless, basically. Our sources stress the need for specificity. What does success actually look like for you?
Financially, skill-wise, leadership, creating something.
Yeah, clarity gives you power.
And this idea of reverse engineering, that sounds interesting.
It's really insightful. You take the big goal, the vision, and break it down.
Like into yearly steps.
Yeah.
6 months, 30 days.
Exactly. Make those smaller milestones measurable, trackable, time-bound. Success loves structure, as they say.
Without clear milestones, it's easy to get lost.
Totally. But, having the list isn't enough.
Ah, yes. Execution.
Absolutely critical. Goals without action are just dreams on paper.
The difference is doing versus dreaming.
It really is. Successful people consistently take purposeful action.
Think back to Edison and Ford again.
Right. Edison wasn't just dreaming of light. He was running thousands of experiments.
Ford wasn't just imagining cheap cars. He was relentlessly refining manufacturing.
They built success. Vision plus persistent action.
And it's often about those small daily steps.
Definitely. Like climbing a mountain one step at a time. That consistent discipline, that persistence. Fundamental.
So define the vision, create the strategy, execute relentlessly.
That's the formula. And the message is clear. Start now. Build your future with intention.
Okay, but what happens when things go wrong? Because they inevitably do. Setbacks happen.
They do. And that's where the next piece comes in, turning setbacks into comebacks. Resilience.
Yeah. Life tests everyone, doesn't it?
Absolutely. But success often isn't about never falling down. It's about how many times you get back up. Resilience is just key.
It separates those who reach the destination from those who give up.
And a big part of it is reframing failure. It's not the opposite of success.
It's part of the journey.
Exactly, part of the process. Every setback holds a lesson, an opportunity to get stronger. We need to see obstacles as stepping stones, not dead ends.
Okay, but how do we actually build that resilience? Is it just gritting your teeth?
Well, part of it is training your mind. When things get tough, instead of, why me? Ask.
What can I learn from this?
Precisely. Actively seek the lesson. That helps you process and move forward.
Mental toughness comes into play here too, I imagine.
Huge role. Resilient people don't just wallow. They analyze what went wrong, adapt their approach, and crucially, they control their emotional response.
They don't let it derail them completely.
Right. They keep going when others might quit. And it also involves embracing discomfort.
Because growth happens outside the comfort zone.
Almost always. The biggest achievements usually come from those willing to endure the struggle. Bouncing back is like a superpower you can develop.
You mentioned Abraham Lincoln earlier.
A prime example. Multiple election losses, profound personal tragedies. Yet he persisted. His life shows how setbacks can fuel eventual triumph through sheer resilience.
So the core takeaway is, don't stop trying.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Failure's temporary. Quitting is permanent. Every step you take after a failure is a step towards success. Resilience isn't just a trait. It's a way of life.
Okay, so we have resilience. What's underpinning that? Something even more fundamental.
There is. And it's that unwavering belief in yourself. Self-belief.
Right. You have to believe in you before anyone else will.
Our sources frame it as the bedrock of all great achievements. That quiet, powerful force that lets people defy odds.
And often the biggest obstacles are internal, aren't they?
Oh, absolutely. Our own doubts, fears, that negative self-talk, those are the real limitations, the real enemies of success.
If you don't believe you can do it.
It's very unlikely anyone else will convince you otherwise. But when you do have that strong self-belief, you become, well, a force to be reckoned with.
But self-doubt feels so real sometimes. It's easy to get trapped.
It does feel real. But our sources challenge us. Is that doubt based on reality? Or is it anxiety, past experiences? Fear of the unknown?
A lot of it might just be internal fiction, a learned response.
That's the argument. Much of it is conditioned. But here's the empowering part. Belief is a choice.
We can choose to believe.
Yes. And you strengthen it like a muscle through repetition. Every time you act despite fear, every time you prove to yourself you can handle something.
You build that belief. Little by little, small wins matter.
Exactly. Start small, create that upward spiral.
The historical examples are powerful here, too. Walt Disney.
Told he lacked creativity. Can you imagine?
Henry Ford, ridiculed for his ideas. The Wright brothers, mocked for trying to fly.
Yet their unwavering belief in themselves and their vision led to empires, changed history.
So confidence isn't just something you have or don't have.
No, it's cultivated. And interestingly, when you truly start believing in yourself, the world often starts reflecting that back to you.
Opportunities appear. People are drawn to that certainty.
Yeah, success seems to gravitate towards that kind of self-assuredness. People trust those who trust themselves.
But it's not about arrogance, right?
Definitely not. It's about genuinely recognizing your worth, developing your skills, and then acting decisively. It's about silencing that inner critic.
And belief helps you bounce back from failure, too.
It's the anchor, allows you to rise stronger.
So the difference between achievers and settlers is often
That courage to believe. Even when it seems illogical, every success story starts with someone deciding they are capable, often before there's any proof.
choose to believe now, don't wait for validation.
Exactly. Validate yourself first.
Okay, we have mindset, belief. But what's the engine that actually drives this? What unlocks the doors?
That key, the sources say, is discipline.
Discipline. More important than talent or luck.
That's the claim. It's presented as the real secret weapon, simply doing what needs to be done, even when you don't feel like it.
That's the tough part, isn't it? The not feeling like it part.
It is. It separates the successful from the unsuccessful more often than not.
We often wait for motivation to strike. I'll do it when I feel inspired.
A common trap. Our sources call waiting for motivation a bit of a myth. If you only act when motivated, you'll be inconsistent. Motivation ebbs and flows.
Some days you're on fire, others, not so much.
Precisely. And that's where discipline is the bridge. It connects your goals to actual results.
It separates dreaming from doing.
Think about top performers. Athletes train when tired. Entrepreneurs push through setbacks. Writers write when uninspired.
They don't always feel like it.
No. Their secret isn't constant motivation, it's the discipline to work anyway. Success is built on daily habits, not occasional bursts.
And discipline is like a muscle. We can build it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Strengthens with consistent practice. Start small.
Like waking up on time, following through on a small promise, sticking to a schedule.
Exactly. Those small acts compound. They build momentum over time. Weeks, months, years.
Because brilliant ideas are useless without execution.
Totally useless. Discipline is the bedrock. You know the saying, hard work beats talent when talent doesn't work hard.
Yeah.
Discipline ensures the hard work actually happens. Consistently.
So the question for you, the listener, is, do your daily habits align with your goals?
Right. If not, now's the time to adjust. Success is about those daily actions, not grand gestures.
Cultivate the discipline to act even without the feeling.
And you become unstoppable. Discipline keeps you going when motivation fades, especially when it's tough.
Don't wait for motivation. Train your discipline.
And watch dreams become reality. Success belongs to those who show up, do the work, and keep pushing.
Okay, so we've built discipline, but the world changes so fast, we can't just stick rigidly to one plan, can we?
That's a really critical point. Adaptability, continuous learning.
The pace of change is incredible.
It really is. What worked yesterday might be useless tomorrow. Successful people don't resist change. They embrace it. They're lifelong learners.
Always evolving, adapting.
In today's world, adaptability isn't just nice to have, it's the ultimate advantage.
And it's not just about consuming information, is it? Knowledge isn't power unless...
Unless it's applied. Exactly. Reading books, attending seminars, great, but real growth comes from putting those lessons into practice.
Growth is active, requires effort, intention, stepping outside the comfort zone again.
Right. And the real secret is that learning isn't just facts. It's adapting your thinking, staying open to new ideas, new perspectives.
The moment you think you know it all.
You stop growing. You risk stagnation. The world doesn't stand still.
Great leaders, innovators, they remain students.
Always. They know wisdom isn't having all the answers, but constantly seeking new ones. The mind is like a blade needs regular sharpening.
So personal development is a lifelong commitment.
It has to be. Daily sharpening, refining skills, staying relevant and adaptable.
So the question for you listening is, what are you learning today to be better tomorrow?
Are you challenging your perspective, engaging with new ideas, applying what you learn?
Because execution is still key. Knowledge without action.
Is just potential. Knowledge with action is power. Embrace learning, take action, stay ahead, keep learning, keep growing, keep pushing forward.
Okay, so far we've focused a lot on the individual mindset, actions, but what about external factors, like the people around us?
Ah, yes, a crucial external factor. Your circle, who you surround yourself with.
Our sources say they either lift you up or pull you down.
That's the essence of it. Success isn't just an individual pursuit, it's deeply influenced by your environment, the people you spend time with.
There's that saying, you're the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with.
Our sources really emphasize that. Surround yourself with winners, ambitious people, and that becomes your norm.
But hang out with complainers, negative people.
And mediocrity starts to feel comfortable. Energy, positive or negative, is contagious.
So successful people are intentional about their circle.
Very intentional. They actively seek out people who inspire, challenge, push them to grow. They find mentors, network with achievers.
And sometimes distance themselves from negativity.
Yes. And that's presented not as being selfish, but strategic, necessary for growth.
Every interaction either moves you towards or away from your goals.
That's the core idea. Time and energy are precious resources. Invest them wisely in relationships.
So we need to honestly ask ourselves, who are we spending our time with?
Are they helping you become better? Encouraging you to aim higher?
Yeah.
Or reinforcing doubts and excuses?
Ideally, your circle should challenge you, offer new perspectives, inspire you.
Absolutely. Doesn't mean cutting everyone off, but being conscious, deliberate about who gets your prime time and energy.
Sometimes distancing is necessary for your own progress.
You owe yourself progress, not stagnation. Seek out people you admire. Learn from achievers. Find mentors.
Build relationships with people who celebrate wins and support through failures.
Because your circle shapes conversations, standards, even what you believe is possible. Elevate your life by elevating your circle. Choose wisely.
Okay, shifting gears a bit. There's another mindset piece our sources cover. Scarcity versus abundance.
Ah, yes. This is fascinating and often overlooked. It's not just skills or hard work, it's how you see the world. That perception shapes everything.
Your mindset is the lens.
Exactly. And it determines how you interpret opportunities, challenges, setbacks.
So scarcity mindset, what does that look like?
It's the core belief that there's not enough to go around. If someone else wins, you lose.
Leads to fear, competition, jealousy.
Often, yes. Worrying about limited resources, hesitating to risk, resisting collaboration because you think helping others hurts you.
And it can become a self-fulfilling prophecy. You expect limits, so you find them.
That's the danger. But the abundance mindset.
Is the opposite. Opportunities are everywhere.
Right. It inspires and enables, sees possibilities, believes success is expandable enough for everyone.
So others' success isn't threatening.
No, it's inspiration, proof of what's possible. The focus is on growth, learning, innovation, collaboration.
And the difference isn't usually the actual opportunities, but the perspective.
Often, yes. Successful people see possibilities in obstacles, lessons in setbacks. They ask, what can I learn? Not, why me?
That fuels resilience again.
It does. And it links to focus. You become what you focus on.
Focus on problems, attract more problems, focus on solutions.
Find more solutions. Your brain reinforces your dominant thoughts.
So if you believe in limits, your actions reflect that.
Subtly? Maybe, but yes. If you choose to believe in abundance, possibility, your actions align differently, opening new doors.
Making that shift takes effort, though.
It does. It requires intentional work. Reframing negative thoughts, surrounding yourself with abundant thinkers, consuming positive content.
Gratitude practice helps too, right? Shifting focus from lack to having.
Absolutely. A daily gratitude practice can powerfully reinforce an abundance mindset.
Ultimately, your thoughts shape your reality. Think like someone successful to attract success.
See challenges as opportunities. Setbacks as lessons. Others' success is proof. Change your mindset. Change your life.
Okay, we've covered mindset, discipline, environment. What about the deep internal drive? That fire.
Passion and purpose. That's where that enduring energy comes from.
Passion fuels, but purpose directs.
That's a great way to put it. Successful people are often driven by more than just money or status. They have a vision, a mission.
Something bigger than themselves.
Exactly. Passion provides that emotional energy, the excitement, the drive to persevere through tough times.
Waking up early, working late because you want to.
But passion alone isn't always enough, is it?
No, it needs direction. That's what purpose comes in.
Precisely. Purpose is the compass, the deeper why behind what you do. It makes the work about impact, not just income.
Gives clarity, resilience, fulfillment beyond just temporary motivation.
And when you align passion with purpose, that's when you get unstoppable momentum.
You operate from deep conviction, not just fleeting feelings.
Right. Hard work feels more enjoyable. Struggles become stepping stones. Setbacks are just lessons. You become relentless because it truly matters to you.
But passion without direction can be messy.
It can. Many passionate people lack direction, discipline, strategy. Passion needs to be paired with action, planning, persistence.
Passion without action is a dream. Purpose without execution is just an idea.
Well said. Success still requires consistent effort. Setting clear goals, developing skills, taking calculated risks, learning from failure, staying committed.
So find what excites you and gives your life meaning.
Yes. Find that intersection of your inclinations and problems you feel compelled to solve. Then commit to mastery, build discipline, take daily action.
When you work with passion and purpose, success becomes
A matter of when, not if. World changers act, persist, stay true to their purpose, align passion and purpose, put in the work, and success tends to follow.
Okay, this brings us to the final piece, doesn't it? The bridge between all these ideas and actual reality.
It does. After all the mindset shifts, goal setting, resilience building, discipline, it all comes down to one thing:
Action.
consistent, decisive action. You can have the best mindset, goals, network. But without action, none of it matters.
Success is about doing.
Taking massive, relentless action daily.
So many people wait, though, for the right time, the perfect
A
conditions.
common trap. Our sources are clear. There's rarely a perfect moment. The right time is almost always now.
Achievers act even when they're not ready.
Exactly. They start before they have all the answers. They make mistakes, learn, adapt, but they keep moving forward. Stop waiting. Stop overthinking.
Start doing. Success belongs to the actors.
It really does. Everything you want is potentially within reach.
Yep.
But are you willing to become the person who attracts it?
It's not luck, not circumstances.
It's mindset, discipline, resilience, and action. It's the daily choice to improve, grow, control your future.
You don't need permission or validation.
You have what you need. The only thing left is to act.
So the final question for you listening is, what will you do today?
What one step will you take? What habit will you build? The life you want isn't waiting for you.
It's waiting for you to create it.
Go out there and become the person who attracts success.
Okay, so wrapping this deep dive up, we've covered a lot. Shaping identity, setting purposeful goals,
Building resilience, cultivating that core self-belief, practicing discipline.
embracing learning, choosing your circle wisely, shifting to abundance.
Aligning passion with purpose, and finally, the absolute necessity of consistent action.
And the big takeaway seems to be that success isn't really about chance.
No, it's the result of conscious choices and consistent habits built over time.
So for our final thought for you to chew on, which of these principles really hit home for you right now?
And what's just one small, tangible step you can take today, right now, to start embodying that principle more fully?
Think about how these ideas connect, how they reinforce each other, how they compound over time to create real lasting change. That's the path to attracting the success you truly desire.